Tigo ay prenisinta na rin po natin patungkol po doon sa mga titulo na nasa pangalan po nila Chief Justice, pati po yung mga titulo sa pangalan ng kanilang mga anak. Siguro linawin lang po natin, no? It's a wonder for us that they're presenting the very same witnesses. In fact, if at all yung mga unang mga testigong prenisinta nila ay lalo lang napapatunayan para sa amin yung kaso namin. It's helping the prosecution more than the defense as far as what we see. I think what they failed to show today is, or explain, ay pinatunayan na po at base dun sa huling testigo, ang anak po ni Chief Justice at ang kanyang asawa ng kanyang anak, si Constantino Castillo at saka si Carla Corona, ay nag-acquire ng properties over a span of 4.5 years. Nag-acquire ng properties worth 43.5 million pesos. So let's not forget, those properties are all in the name of Cristina and Constantino, or just in the name of Cristina. We've never disputed that. In fact, that is already our evidence. But what we have shown, if you look at that in consonance with the evidence presented by Commissioner Kim Hinares, is that on the very same year, or on the very same, a year before binili ni Cristina, from Cristina ni Carla, ng anak nila Chief Justice, yung La Vista property for 18 million pesos, ang kinita niya lang or taxable income the previous year, based on BIR, is less than 10,000 pesos. So it's certainly, as far as we are concerned, it's all in line with the same theory that we have for McKinley Hill, na nasa pangalan ni Charina, pero there are 27 monthly installments, reservation agreement, all signed by the Chief Justice and the wife. The payments, all the amortization payments are done through checks of the Chief Justice and his wife. In fact, that's how we uncovered BPI, because yung check payments ang ginagamit. At lumabas lang po yung trust agreement at saka yung handwritten note saying that this property is actually not ours. Pwede bang yung titulo i-issue nyo sa pangalan ng anak namin? Pare-parehong tanong pagdating dun sa 3 properties identified. 43.5 million. 10.5 million for that Cubao lot, 15 million for that Kalayaan, Quezon City property, and 18 million for La Vista. It is correct, yung Kalayaan ay may encumbrance na 12 million na utang sa BPI. Sabihin pa natin, ibawas natin yung 12 million na yon, pero ang inilabas nilang pera nung batang mag-asawa is 31.5 million, and yet their ITR cannot support this income. So in our minds, all the witnesses that they presented today, if they were intended to show that these properties do not belong to the Chief Justice, I don't think it has in any way shown that, because ang pinakita ng ebidensya ay kahalintulad pa rin po ng aming ebidensya. Ang pinakita noon, hindi nila ipinapakita yung capacity to purchase these properties, 43.5 million pesos in a span of 4.5 years, including the 18 million purchase by the daughter from the Chief Justice for 18 million pesos, when in the previous year, her declared taxable income was less than 10,000 pesos. So it really just brings more questions than answers.
Sirs, yung binabanggit ng defense kanina sa press ko nila, damaged good theory na raw ang tinatahak ngayon ng trial. Any reaction on that? Damaged good theory ang binabanggit nilang tinatahak na raw po ngayon?
Tingin ko hindi eh. Dahil una-una, balikan po natin, totoo ba yung SALN o hindi? Totoo ba nanumpa si Chief Justice Corona sa isang di kompleto at makatotohanang SALN? Yun yung kailangan sagutin. Hindi damaged goods. Dahil kung sasabihin mo damaged goods theory, that presumes na si Chief Justice Corona did not do anything wrong. Ang tanong, bakit hindi niya dineklara ng tama ang kanyang cash in bank? Bakit hindi niya dineklara ng tama sa tamang taon yung mga ari-arian na binili po niya? So, bakit sasabihin na damaged goods? No, there's no presumption that he is going to be acquitted. Ang tingin namin, sapat yung ebidensya po namin para patunayan na guilty po si Chief Justice Corona. Of course, that will be appreciated by the senator judges, no? Pero sa amin palagay, wala nga po sa hindi pa natin alam yung laman ng dollar accounts po niya, pero kung titignan po natin lang yung statements of assets and liabilities for 2010, talagang obvious kulang. Kung titignan po natin on a per year basis, kasi I think what we are forgetting, this is a yearly test of his SALN from 2002 up to 2010. And if you take the yearly test of the SALN, yearly, babagsak po si Chief Justice Corona.
Sagutin lang natin yung ilang kaso na na-cite po ng defense sa kanilang press con at na-cite na rin po sa loob ng korte. Yung case ni DPWH ASEC Plato, yan ay authority for saying na simple negligence lang daw yung hindi pagdedeklara. Ang nangyari po kasi, para malaman ho ng publiko, sa kaso ng Plato, ang nangyari po dyan, dineclare po ni Yusek Plato yung wife niya ay may business interests, pero hindi niya po nilista yung pangalan. May manukan pala sila, may babuyan pala sila, may sanglaan din, at meron ding laundromat o laundry business. So hindi niya nilista po yun. So ang sabi po ng Supreme Court, yun ay simple negligence lang. Bakit po simple negligence? Dahil nilista naman niya ho yung negosyo ng kanyang wife, pero hindi niya specify kung alin po yun. But it's also authority for the proposition na yung yung sinasabi kasi ng depensa, pwede mong i-correct eh. Sinabi ng Supreme Court dun sa kasong Plato, you cannot correct it if it refers to the substance. Pwede mo lang i-correct pagka timeliness ang pinag-uusapan, yung issue ng timeliness. So pagka substance ang pinag-uusapan, pag may naumit ka, hindi nyo pwedeng i-correct ho yun. Yun ang importante because in the case of Chief Justice, klarong-klaro na hindi niya dineklara for many years po yun. At I'd like to cite 2 more cases po decided by the Supreme Court. Yung kaso po ng Office of the Ombudsman versus Racho, that's January 2011 case. Si Racho ay isang chief ng Special Investigation Division ng BIR. Meron siyang hindi idineklarang bank account ng 5.8 million. Ang depensa po niya ay hindi niya pera yon. Does that sound familiar? At gagamitin po sa isang negosyo ng kanyang mga kamag-anak. I'm sure that also sounds familiar. And yet, he was convicted of dishonesty dahil ang sinabi po ng Korte Suprema, yung hindi pagdedeklara ng bank account na yon na 5.8 million ay isang kaso ng dishonesty o pagsisinungaling. So he was in-uphold po ng Supreme Court yung pagkakadismiss po sa kanya sa government service. Pangalawang kaso na gusto nating i-cite, yung kaso ng Flores versus Montemayor. Si Montemayor ay isang BIR employee din doon at nung meron siyang 2 sasakyan na hindi niya dineklara nung taong 2001. Isang Land Cruiser, isang Ford Expedition. And yet, dineklara niya po yon in the years 1999 and 2000. So, isang taon lang niya hindi na ideklara, and yet, tinanggal po siya sa serbisyo. Just for not declaring it for 1 year. Ano pa kaya yung kay Chief Justice? Kasi 5 years na niya hindi dineklara po yung Bonnie Ridge, yung columns, at for 1 year hindi niya dineklara yung Bellagio, if I'm not mistaken. Ano? So clearly, sabi nga ni Senator Santiago dati, we must cite cases that must be in point. So kung mas in point palagay namin yung sinasabi ng prosecution itong Flores at saka Racho kesa sa case ni Plato. Because the case of Plato refers to his wife's businesses na hindi niya inilista. So simple negligence lang po yun. Pero yung case of actual omissions, yung Plato is not a case of omission. Hindi yung kaso ng nakalimutan niyang isulat po yung kanyang business interests. Whereas yung case po ng Racho at saka yung case na Flores versus Montemayor ay more similar to the case of the Chief Justice kung saan nag-omit po ng ilang mga ari-arian.
Tsaka I think it's time for us to fall out of the trap of the defense, which is to absolutely trivialize yung SALN. Na sinasabi, kinukumpara nilang bawat isa na ang omission lang ni Chief Justice ay yung wala doon yung acquisition cost. Hindi po. Hindi niya dineclare for at least 6 years yung kanyang 3 condominiums. Hindi niya dineclare ang kanyang 31 million na na-uncover po. At higit sa lahat, up to today, yung kanyang dollar accounts patuloy po niyang tinatago. That's the significance of what is happening today.